Welcome to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. I'm Jonna.
And I'm Kim.
And this is our long overdue Maryland sheep and wool recap.
Yes.
Yes. So we're about 2 weeks late. Apologies. As you can tell, I'm still stuffy from whatever germs I got from my husband. Actually, that weekend.
Yeah, he was a tiny bit under the weather.
Tiny bit under the weather. And then I guess we spent, 10 hours in a car together. So I was doomed. Anyway, so we put off recording, and then you got strep throat.
Yep.
And then, so anyway, welcome if you are a new viewer, and welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Mm-hmm. So this is one of our mini-sodes. We're not really going to talk about, what we're making or, any of that, but we're just going to talk about our fun trip to Maryland Sheep and Wool, which was kind of spontaneous. I mean, we had planned it a little bit, but...
just like a month before, right?
Yeah. And so we took our husbands and we drove separately because I think John and I left a little bit earlier in the day than you guys did.
I was unsure whether my husband had to work a full day that day or a half day or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it was a little rainy on the way down from New York. It took me about 5 hours to get to Gaithersburg, which is where we stayed in a hotel, a nice hotel. It was kind of a nice area. There were restaurants and shops not too far away, and kind of everything was there. So once you parked your car, you were kind of good to go. So
yeah, that was really neat.
The only drawback was that it was about 45 minutes from the festival. Mm-hmm. Which was fun. It was actually, the drive was just beautiful. The landscape and everything was so green, and there were just beautiful farms, and I really enjoyed the drive, except for the driving.
Yeah, there was no direct route, though. So it truly
was windy.
You didn't get on a highway or an interstate at all. It was just twisting and turning through the farm.
And I tried to cast on a sock, which was really dumb.
Oops.
And Kim drives, because she's used to driving a stick shift. I feel like you drive an automatic just like you drive a stick shift.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
So I was sitting in the back seat, so...
I tried to start warning her when it was going to get curvy.
I put the knitting away, and so I just looked out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous
day. And
but when we got there Friday night, when I finally did get there, then we had dinner with Kevin and Ray.
Yeah, we did. So we had planned that. So they stayed in the same hotel that we did. Mm-hmm. And we ate at a restaurant just next door to the hotel.
Mm-hmm. The 6 of us.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, our husbands, us.
Yeah, it was the first time they had met George.
Mm-hmm.
And they had met John before when I ran up there to meet Max and Sear. Mm-hmm. And Kevin and Ray were at Pick Up Every Stitch. So they had met before. And we had barbecue. Mm-hmm. They also had barbecue chicken, and they had barbecued ribs, which they loved.
It was really fun.
Yeah, and we sat outside because, like I said, the weather was beautiful. And the hotel is on this man-made lake.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's kind of like a whole Sheraton area,
complex.
Because there were 3 different Sheraton hotels. Oh. There was a boardwalk, a man-made lake. Across the lake was a beautiful little carousel, merry-go-round. Mm-hmm. There were fountains in the lake.
Yeah.
And there was a movie theater.
Duck boats, those paddle boats,
Yeah, those are funny. And lots of restaurants right there. And the parking garage was, half a block away, and it was free parking. That was nice.
Yeah.
So you really, as Jonna said before, you could really go there with your family. Very, very family friendly.
Yeah,
very family friendly. Yeah. You could go there, and have a fun weekend, and not ever have to leave the properties.
It was also prom night for some local school.
It was?
So, yeah. So there.
How did you know that?
Because I had to take some pictures.
You took pictures for people?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. There's, young people dressed up in their finery. So.
Oh, that's so fun.
It was prom night. So.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I must have been just in a daze from all the driving.
It was also Cinco de Mayo, so there were some margaritas.
Yes.
Yes, and I ate my entire dinner, and then we just went back to the hotel and fell asleep.
I got to have John's famous margarita recipe. Her husband has a margarita recipe that everyone asks for, and he told us what it was, so I didn't have to ask, but he specifically asked the waiter for specifically
and he's super, I won't say obnoxious, but, whenever we go out to eat, and it's, some place that we've never been before, he tells them how to make the margarita, so.
Well, because the point of it was that it's not too sweet. Because a lot of margaritas, when they put the margarita mix in it,
they put all that weird stuff
are really, really sweet. So his had absolutely no margarita mix.
Yeah, and I think I had a mojito, maybe. But anyway. Then we just moseyed on back to the hotel and fell asleep. And we didn't get up too early on Saturday because we thought we'd miss the crush to get in, but there was still quite a bit of traffic to get in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little local country road, and they're not very quick about, like, I don't really think...
single lane.
Yeah. I don't think they care about how quickly you're getting in there. So we got close, like we were a mile away, and it took us 30 minutes to go that last mile.
Oh, so I have to tell you, so on the way down, John looks in the trunk, and I've got like 5 pairs of shoes in the trunk, and I'm wearing a pair of shoes. He's like, why are you bringing so many pairs of shoes? Because everyone warned us, it could be muddy, it could be rainy, it could be this, it could be that. And so I just thought, I'll just be prepared and bring all the shoes. So I brought all the shoes. I don't even know what I ended up wearing, like high-top sneakers or something.
I don't remember.
But it wasn't muddy at all, and it was absolutely beautiful weather.
I only brought 1 pair of shoes.
Yeah, I brought a ton.
I looked at the weather.
They're still in the trunk of my car.
And it didn't look like it was going to
do anything.
Rain, so I brought my sparkle sneakers.
Yeah. No, the weather was absolutely no humidity at all.
Yeah.
I wore my Amy slipover and a short sleeve white blouse and a linen skirt.
And I wore my Here Comes the Sun. I mean, in the booths, when you're in a booth and there's no airflow, then I was a little warm in my Here Comes the Sun. But other than that, there was a wonderful breeze. It was like high 60s, maybe low 70s. So I wore my Here Comes the Sun, and I was so happy to be able to wear it one last time.
Yeah, it was really sunny, so I kind of wished I brought sunscreen and a hat, but it was beautiful.
It was really beautiful.
So I thought the festival was bigger than I expected. Way
bigger than I expected. We parked the car, and we had to walk pretty far, even further than we normally walk to get into New York Sheep and Wool. And we just start walking in. It's so neat. I was so tempted to buy plants, flowers. There was some garden centers or farms that were selling plants right when you come in the front on the right, pointing to the left, on the left and the right. You were looking at them.
I was on a mission.
You were looking for Tarragon and some sort of tomatoes.
Sungold tomatoes, which I have later bought at the farmer's market here. But
did you ever get tarragon?
Yeah, I did.
Well, there you go.
Plants of French tarragon. So.
I was so tempted to buy plants and put them in the trunk of the car, but I didn't. But I was very surprised at how big it was. And I mean, we didn't even look at everything. There's a whole side we didn't look at. I really think if you really want to see every booth, you need 2 days. Yeah. And we hadn't even. We knew we were not going to go on Sunday. So, yeah, we kind of just picked and chose. Well, we did wander at first. Well, first we walk up, and the first fan to come up and say hi, I think I had, first viewer that came up, these were definitely in order, was Angela. I'm pretty sure it was Angela. And so she came up and said hi. That was really fun. And I did write down everybody's names, but I'm not going to be able to say everybody's names. Sorry. It's a long list. But then we were kind of heading straight toward Green Mountain Spinnery, the booth. Because, tell them how we ended up even meeting people at Green Mountain Spinnery. Oh,
well, we just thought, gosh, where are we going to hang out? We looked at the vendor list, and I'm a fan of, Green Mountain Spinnery yarns. I'm making my much ignored Letho cardigan out of Green Mountain Spinnery. And, well, first of all, Rhinebeck has a hill that people meet on. Right. And we've never been to the Howard County Fairgrounds. That's what they're called, right? And we did ask viewers, and they said, there really isn't. You go to the sheep shearing area. We didn't really know where to meet people so that we could say a set time. I mean, obviously people can say hi all day, but if somebody really wants to meet us and can't find us in the crowd, let's pick a place. So I thought, let's look for a vendor. And, we visited Green Mountain Spinnery booth before, and I love their yarn, and I'm actually using some of their yarn right now, and Kate just seemed like a lovely person, so I said, okay, well, that's my first choice. So you inquired, and they said, of course. So we were really thrilled. So thank you, Kate, for having us in your booth. Yeah. So it was a nice big booth, too. It was a nice big one. We went right up there first and just said hi, and so we knew where it was. Right. And so it wasn't 2 o'clock, and we were like, where are we going? Yeah. And I got a few pictures and a little video of the space. And it was under... All those booths in that area were under one big tent, which was nice. Which was new, I think, that year because of the rain last year. So, yeah.
And then we just went out the front door of that tent and wandered.
Yep.
Right?
It was fun.
Back and forth through the buildings and tents that were along the way. And there were also more food vendors than I thought there would be.
Yeah, I think because it's the fairgrounds, maybe, well, I guess Rhinebeck is at fairgrounds too, but yeah, it look like they have established food vendors. And the lines were so long.
Right, and a wide variety. Wide variety of vendors, not just hot dogs and French fries.
Yeah, so... it was interesting because the food vendors are kind of in between the buildings where the exhibits were, so you kind of had to weave your way through the food lines to get to the next building. And the number one thing I wanted to see, I wanted to visit Bare Naked Wool, that booth, because Kevin and Ray just raved about their yarn. So I was kind of on. That was like my only booth I wanted to see. My must see. Yeah.
Yeah,
so I didn't really have an agenda.
I didn't really either. I didn't have a must see list at all.
Except the sock machines. Let's talk about that.
We're still looking. We've still always been looking for a demo of sock machines because we missed it at Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have a plan to buy anything because it was so last minute, and I have plenty of yarn. I have plenty of projects in my queue. So anyway. So yeah, we just started walking, and let's talk first about the few people we got pictures with. How's that? Because I don't remember the order of the booths. Do you? Of course, I printed this big packet of all the booths.
Especially since I've been sick for 2 weeks. My memory is shot. So,
and I had started writing down on this map the people we were meeting. So, like for instance, we met Angela, Lisa. We met a little group of 3: Patty, Linda, and Debbie. We met Jennifer and Laura, Donna. Oh, then funny. Carolina. Remember who Carolina was?
Was she the first person who said, so I'm a friend of Pat Valenzano and she couldn't come? And we're like, oh no, she sent us an email, so we knew that Pat wasn't going to be attending. But it was after that, several more groups came up to us and said, we're friends with Pat Valenzano.
Yes.
And we were like, is everyone friends with Pat?
I wrote down one other. It was Kathy, and her son Boris was also a friend of Pat Valenzano. But I didn't write down all the other ones, but that was just so funny. It was really funny.
Yeah, so then we started asking people, are you friends with Pat Valenzano?
Yeah, exactly. It was really, really funny. Yeah. But so many people. Marsha and Kelly. Kelly was her daughter. Whitney, Amber from, I think, Front Porch Fiber, but I'm not sure. Remember Jinjin and Rotimi, her husband? Mm-hmm. Leslie, Kimber, and Steve. A lot of hubbies were there.
Yeah.
Kathy, Lupe, and Anaya. We had seen them.
Oh, yeah. We had seen them at Rhinebeck?
At Rhinebeck, yes. So it was so nice to see both of them again. Cheryl, the Choco cat mom, she was sitting, I think, in chairs right outside the booth.
Okay.
Where what's it called? Green Mountain Fibers.
And they loved your sneakers.
Yes.
Yes.
And Robin and Scott. Robin is a Yarn to Die For Designs. But anyway, so we just kept seeing people all throughout. But we saw a few people that, and when we saw viewers, we asked them to take pictures and post them. So we don't have any of those pictures. But we saw one of the first people we saw, like a knitting celeb, was Olga Buraya Kafelian.
And I just know her as Olga Jazzy Knits. You know, it's funny. We call people by their podcast name.
It's funny, right?
Oh, it's Woolen Vine. No,
yeah.
It's Kristen.
Or Knitting Posse.
Right.
So Olga Jazzy Knits.
Yeah.
We saw her.
Yeah, so that's the first time I met her.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so nice to meet her. And then another time, we were just wandering around a corner, and all of a sudden, was it Mia who came up first? Or Kai? Kai, this just wonderful young man, right?
Yeah, who spins and has his own YouTube channel, which we'll link below.
Yes.
And he did a little, impromptu interview and asked us what we were wearing.
I forgot about that. That's right.
And he put it in his video.
He did.
Yeah.
He's Fiber by Nature on YouTube. So please go subscribe to Kai's channel.
Maybe you can put one of those cards.
Yeah, I'll put a little card in the corner so you can get to him easily. Just click on the card. But he's just so sweet and just so talented too.
Yeah. And he had a really nice Maryland Sheep and Wool recap.
Yeah.
It was a lot of scenery and video, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah. And then he's usually at the same booth as, Maggie's Farm and the Boondaflicka bags, which you have to talk about that Boondaflicka bag that you want.
I know.
So Maggie is the owner of Maggie's Farm, and then her daughter Mia runs the booth with her, and they're just also lovely. We have a picture of all of us together, the 5 of us, Kai, Maggie, Mia, you and I, but we got to hear about that bag.
Oh, the blue bird bag?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't choose. So basically I couldn't choose. They're all beautiful bags, nice and big, with tons of pockets, and you have one that I love.
Yes.
And
actually, I'm holding the twin to my bag in the picture.
Okay.
So.
And I didn't buy one.
She didn't buy one.
And I hope you didn't buy one for me.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
But I did message them to ask if they had a big one still.
I was like, I'm going to keep my eye on her because she's famous for doing that.
I did contact them, but I haven't heard back.
Oh, my goodness.
You never know when your birthday comes up. Maybe.
I mean, they're beautiful and they're handmade and they're worth every penny, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a birthday now, and you're not my mother, so I'm not going to get you one for Mother's Day. So you're safe for a few months. She really doesn't like getting, I mean, you like getting gifts, of course.
Yeah,
but,
just not on camera, I guess.
Right, yeah. And then we met, so it was really fun to see them. Hi, everybody from Maggie's Farm and Kai and everybody. And then I have wanted to meet this person. Actually, at Rhinebeck, I went to her booth, Indigo Dragonfly, and she wasn't in the booth. And of course, it's so busy there. I didn't have a chance to go back. But I've talked about her before. Kim McBrien Evans. I had taken some virtual classes with her for one of the VogueNet Lives. And I took the sweater map. It's the sweater map : set-in sleeve sweaters, and there's a first session and a second session. So it's very, very comprehensive. And in that class, she refers to, she's made it her mission to help people modify sweaters to fit them perfectly. And she has a class called Boob Camp. Also, there's a Boob Camp 1 and 2, Bums and Bellies.
Oh.
And she also has a class for circular yoke sweater fit, and that's also a 2-part class. So if you ever see Kim McBrien Evans on
You've enjoyed that.
Oh, she's really good. But we saw her. I mean, I totally knew it was her. She had red hair. I don't know if it's always red, but I just stopped and I was like, I've always wanted to meet you. Oh my goodness. I went to your booth at Rhinebeck and you weren't there. So we got a picture with Kim. So hi, Kim. Hi. It was really nice
She
to meet you.
was wearing a beautiful shawl.
Was she? I didn't even notice.
I'm pretty sure she was wearing a shawl.
Oh, cool. Well, you'll see in the picture.
I don't know. I'm brain fog, so.
That's okay. And then we met, my Meadow Moon sweater it's this blue on blue circular yoke Jen Steingast sweater that I've worn in a few episodes. It's one of my very favorite sweaters. What did you do that knit along? It's like a bougie sweatshirt.
Oh,
right? It's like a luxurious sweatshirt, the way it fits. And the yarn, the base yarn, it was held with mohair, but it was a Haynes House yarn called Icy Blue Dots. And I held it with blue mohair because Felicia suggested, and it just was perfect. And then the color work was in blue, also held with the same blue mohair, and it's just divine. And so when I saw Haynes House yarn at the VogueNet Live in February, but the line and the booth was just so packed with people that I didn't stop because again we were kind of on a time crunch. But I got to meet Terry Haynes of
she was
Haynes House
and they had the best music of anybody at the festival.
Yes,
playing in the booth. I think it was Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And she's just lovely. So it was really nice to meet her too. So I can insert that picture. But so we just walked around. I don't know. You want to talk about? I don't know. We didn't buy much.
Oh no, I kind of did.
Oh, I guess you did along the way. I didn't buy much, but you did along the way. So
yeah.
So what were some of those purchases before 2:00? Because at 2:00 we had planned to meet the viewers.
Yeah.
Right.
So did I buy my stuff in Bare Naked
I
Wool
think so.
before. Yeah, I think it was before. So, right, my one destination was the Bare Naked Wool's booth. And it was this beautiful, big booth in one of the buildings, not underneath the tent.
Right.
And it was crowded. It was definitely crowded. And they had a bunch of patterns displayed, and then beautiful samples hanging, and lots of earth tone wool.
I tried to get some pictures of you in the booth. I did get a good picture of you looking at one of the skirts.
And I've always wanted to make a knitted skirt. So, and Elise, your friend, made a knitted skirt.
Yeah, recently.
And it was just, I saw the waistband, and it just looks so perfect. I thought, I want to make a skirt. So they had several beautiful skirts samples, and I had difficulty choosing. So I bought yarn for 2 skirts.
Yay!
And the first one is, it's kind of, I'll have you insert a picture.
Yes.
Yeah, there is one on Ravelry. I saw.
Oh, good.
It's the Amalfi Coast, and it's kind of this retro, I don't know, it's like 70s, it's zigzag.
It's so cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is my summer skirt, and then I actually got yarn for more of a wintry skirt. So this I'm going to make with the Fin Dandy Sport, which is so soft. Could you feel that?
Oh, I felt the skirt. It's just the drape on the skirt, just everything about it.
Yeah.
The colors.
And I wonder, let's see. So it's knit on a 6 for the, just for the draw cord. So it's knit on a US size 7, so 4.5 millimeter. Didn't we have this discussion? We're going to start saying needles in millimeters, because 7 is just so random. Like 7 is just a number. It just doesn't mean anything.
As far as the measurement goes.
Right. It's not a dimension.
Right.
But an actual 4.5 millimeter needle does it have a diameter or circumference?
It's the diameter that's 4.5.
The diameter is 4.5 millimeters. So we decided we should be more accurate. So this is a sport weight wool, and all of their wool comes from the United States, and it's 350 yards for 4 ounces, or 100 grams-ish, 2-ply. And like I said, it's undyed. So this is the color Fog, and it's 100% Fin sheep, Finn. Hence the name Fin Dandy Sport. And this is Sea Mist, and this is Haze. And I love the low contrast.
Oh, it's just, now, is that what it was? The sample was made in, or
yes?
Did you pick out your own?
No, I think that there were several suggestions. So the Hemshaw fingering, the Ginny Sport, Confection Sport, Chebri, and I don't know if I'm saying these right, Chebri Sport, or any heavy fingering or light sport yarn. So I liked the colors in the Fin Dandy. So yeah,
look at them. Oh,
I know. So this will be my my summer skirt.
Oh, love it! It's so beautiful.
It is. It's drapey, and it looks it's above the knee. It's sort of.
We saw someone wearing a skirt too, right? I don't remember who it was.
Yeah. But every time I see someone wearing a skirt at one of these knitting festivals, knitted skirt, I'm like, I want a knitted skirt. So, also at Bare Naked Wools, I bought the Kent DK. Now, Kevin and Ray love the Stone Soup DK. And I looked at that also. I think it's sort of tweedy. But I chose the Kent DK for the interlocking skirt. And I'll have you put in a picture. Now, this is, it's still got a nice drape to it, but it is knit on a bigger needle. I want to say 5.5 millimeter needle for the body of the skirt. And this is a DK, so that's a big needle for a DK. And it's this beautiful, very geometric.
That's probably what makes it drapey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's twisted rib and these just beautiful kind of geometric panels. And it looks almost gored. You know, the skirt is, gets wider at the bottom. So it's an A-line skirt, I guess. But it almost looks gored the way the twisted rib is.
And the twisted rib is going to make it kind of go on the bias, too, a little bit. So it's probably going to be kind of swingy. Exactly.
I looked at the projects on Ravelry, and they all turned out beautifully. So both of these patterns are by Ann Hansen.
Yes, and she was there helping people. She helped you find
she did.
yarn.
She did. And everyone on Ravelry raved about the patterns, how well written they were. So, yeah. I don't know. Could you buy the pattern without making a yarn purchase? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Right. So I had to buy the patterns. But I don't know if they're for sale. They must be for sale on Ravelry.
I mean,
So this one suggested the stone soup DK or the kit DK. So
and they had all the patterns lined up right there. And
yeah.
Yeah, and they had some kits already put together for other projects.
And this is color Folkstone. And it's 60% merino wool, 40% Romney wool. And I cannot wait. Like, I think...
When do you think you're going to cast them on?
I think I'm going to cast on this skirt pretty quickly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we'll talk about my mini works in progress, but I think this is coming up quickly.
There was also a really beautiful, was it a cardigan right at the corner of the booth that I took pictures of? I'll have to see. I think it was a newer release, and it was, I want to say lacy maybe? I don't know, but that's what caught my eye, was that cardigan. But I would never wear it, and I don't know, I don't know, just it's not my style, but it was just the most beautiful work of art.
And it's very, even though it's a rustic wool, it's soft, but it's very toothy, and I feel like it's going to have a lot of stitch definition. So that's what I was so attracted to with this, solid color brown skirt, was just the beautiful stitch pattern. So,
yeah, really.
But gorgeous. I feel like skirts kind of need to fit. So this might be an instance where I will do a gauge swatch because
what?
I know because I want it to fit,
Oh, you definitely want it to fit.
Yeah,
but even
it's fitted.
At least when she made her skirt, she did do a gauge swatch. She blocked it. She started the skirt, and it didn't fit. She had to start over. But it's worth it. I mean, it's so worth it because now it fits absolutely perfectly.
Right. I want it to be fitted.
And then she could tell how much she needed to, how many stitches she needed to take out, because she put it on and she realized, it's because it's supposed to just skim her body. And I'm sure these kind of just skim, especially.
Did she size down or did she change her needles?
I think she just changed her needle size. I think so.
Okay. So I haven't really looked at the sizes. What does this say? I'm curious now. Finished size 27 to 51 inches. That's the circumference around the waist without the elastic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sizes. So,
nice. That'll be fun. Oh, I can't wait to see you work on that.
I feel like it would have been, if you wanted to knit the pattern and had a waist that was bigger than 51 inches, I think it would be easy to add on stitches in the increment.
The pattern repeats.
The pattern repeats. So, yeah. And I think it's a pretty easy knit. You just start at the top and knit to the bottom.
Right, exactly.
So I'm excited to make my first skirt.
That'll be so fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Yay. Yeah, that was a beautiful booth. That was really, really nice.
And this was the place where we kind of lost each other for a while.
Yeah. And
I was wandering off, which I tend to do. And you and George were...
Yeah, we tend to not stay right with each other. Right. So, again, if a viewer stops us, I'm always like, wait, where's Jonna? I know you want to meet her, too, not just me.
Well, you're easy to spot.
But that was one of the buildings that was fully enclosed. So it was warm in some of those booths. So I was actually hanging out by the door so I could get the cross breeze.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really, really fun.
Was that the same booth where the birdhouses were?
I think it was a different building. But we also... I don't remember which one it was. We had a few viewers stop us and give us gifts. Wasn't that sweet? Did.
So unexpected, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. It wasn't like Rhinebeck. The first day of Rhinebeck I thought was pretty hectic, and it was hard to shop. But we did lots of shopping and wandering around and met lots of viewers, and it was just very chill and relaxed. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm more relaxed. I don't know. So.
Yeah. I feel bad, though, because one viewer said... She was waiting in the restroom line, and so she couldn't
leave the line
to come and say hi. And by the time she, was done, then we were gone, and she never got to see us. So sorry. Next time, maybe we should go kind of hang out by the bathroom line just in case.
Well, we definitely waited in the bathroom line.
We did.
I waited in the bathroom line.
Yeah, we did.
So, and did I tell the story where I was a viewer who left a comment and said, "Oh, I saw you with some man. I think I saw you, but you were with a man."
I thought she didn't come up and say hi.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I was with my husband. So.
That was, was that because we posted about it? And we said we were there with our husbands. I think that's what it was. In a previous video, we were talking about it.
And towards the end of the day, I was just beat, and we decided to go. But then you were going to continue, so we split up. But then you ended up not staying.
I ended up not staying.
Yeah, because she had to go back and get her.
It was a long, exhausting day. But some of the viewers, so Sarah with her husband Ethan gave us these little yarn cozies.
Yeah.
She had made. So you just put your ball of yarn in there, and especially if you're
a pull from the center.
A pull from the center person, like me, like I am. But some, well, you don't have to. Anyway.
Well, actually, I'm knitting with Pure Silk by Knitting for Olive, and I am pulling from the outside, but once I get to the bottom of the cake, the tail on the inside starts spiraling around the yarn I'm using, and I had to actually cut the yarn because I got tangled. And I'd untangled it so many times. So would this help me with that?
Maybe.
If I pull from the center of these balls. Okay. It'll help keep the ball kind of cohesive and intact.
And if it's not too tight, you might even still be able to pull from the outside, honestly, and just pull it out.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. We love them.
Timely gift.
Yeah, we love them. And then Robin with her son Joshua.
You got the flower.
I got a little crocheted flower. And
you got a butterfly.
You got a little butterfly. Yeah. We'll take pictures of all these things so you can see them better. But
and
thank
it matches my flowers perfectly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Robin.
Thank you.
And then Trish, who is Tie-Dye Diva, was with her friends Joanne and Stephanie, and she gave us stickers, and mine are in my bag. But
so cute little sweater stickers.
Cute little sweater stickers.
Adorable.
I love them.
I know.
So fun. If I write someone a card, I could use that to seal the envelope or something.
Super cute.
Really adorable.
Yeah.
So did you buy anything else while you were in there? That was your main purchase.
That was my main purchase. And I didn't expect to buy anything else because I did sort of break the bank at, that one booth. So I was like, okay, I'm done.
Now, did we see the sock machines before I bought the birdhouse? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I guess I'll just talk about the birdhouse now.
Okay.
So, I saw this pottery booth, and I just thought I wanted to stop. And so it's called Thistledown Farm Pottery, and I'm pretty sure the artist and owner's name is Laura. And the first thing I saw was the birdhouse. I have a little birdhouse collection. And unfortunately, they're really outside and they're really used by the birds. So a lot of them have fallen apart. The roof has fallen off. The nails or screws get all rusty. And I have to repair a lot of my birdhouses. But I saw this beautiful, and it's really heavy. I don't even know how I don't even think I could hang it in a tree.
Is it mostly decorative?
I don't know, but I'm going to put it outside, and if the birds decide. I have a ledge under one of my kitchen windows that's really high off the ground, so I might just put it on there. But I just love it, and it's called Burb. It says ... Burb, B-I-R-B, house. And all of them said Burb house. And she said to me, do you know why it says Burb house? And I said, no. And she said, it's actually kind of like the internet speak for adorable little creature, like adorable little bird or something, cute little bird.
Okay.
So that's why it's called a Burb house. So go look it up. Like urban, what's it called? Urban.
Oh, Urban Dictionary?
Yeah, like Urban Dictionary.
Oh, wow. It's
very heavy, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at this.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. So I was looking at this, and I'm like looking around at everything else, and then I see, oh, how cool. Yeah, Laura. I see toad houses. And my grandson's birthday is, well, we're filming this on the last week in May, because this will air the first week of June. And actually tomorrow is one of my grandson's birthdays, and he loves toads. He just loves frogs, toads, turtles, all those little kind of like pond creatures. And they used to live right near a pond, and he would just be out there all the time catching all these creatures, putting them back again, of course, to be with their families. But they had these cute little toad houses, same style. I'll insert pictures. And so I thought, I want to get him one for his birthday. And of course, his birthday's tomorrow. I already gave it to him because I couldn't wait. I was so excited. So I got him a little toad house. And then my two granddaughters, his sisters, especially Scarlett. Ruby's kind of more like a fashionista. She's not so much into the nature stuff. But Scarlett, the oldest sister, is completely into nature and animals and everything. So when she comes to our house, she's constantly like taking a tissue box, putting it out in the woods, putting grass in it for creature houses, like critter houses.
Like her grandma.
Exactly. So there's always boxes.
You're catching critters, and I'm trying to get rid of critters at my house.
Like these boxes all around my yard.
What were you trying to catch? Or you were making a home for squirrels, or you're rehoming?
I don't. Oh yeah, I did.
What animal was that?
Squirrels.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the woman delivered them to her. We were. She was fostering the squirrels, and then they needed a home for the squirrels. So I said, "Please, can I be the home?" So she had them housed in a metal. What's it called? Like a mailbox that has a flap on the top, and she cut a hole in it and secured it so that it wouldn't be sharp. And then had like nesting stuff inside, and then she strapped it up on this tree in my yard. And the squirrels, I saw them come in and out every once in a while, but I had to feed them for the first few days. But anyway, so it's like a family thing. So she had these little mini critter houses, same style as well. So I got a little mini critter house for Scarlett and Ruby to share. So I forgot to take pictures before I gave it to them, so I'm asking my daughter Jenny to take pictures of them. So I'll insert those pictures,
And I totally would have bought one, but you were like, no, not for a 2.5-year-old. So.
Oh no, it's so breakable. Yeah. I had to tell them it's pottery.
Yeah.
Like
it's art.
It's art. This is breakable.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I'm so happy. It's the perfect gift. So thank you so much, Laura, for designing these beautiful creations. So excited.
So up to this point, you have not bought any yarn.
Nope. And I did by this point though. When we first went to Green Mountain Spinnery, I saw a sample that I really liked. And I kind of had an idea, if I buy any yarn anywhere at the festival, I want to buy it from Green Mountain Spinnery. So anyway, so I hadn't bought any yarn by then. But yeah, so what else happened after that? Did you buy anything else? Oh, we saw the sock machine demo.
Yep. I ran in there. I was like, oh, there they are.
Yeah, that was fun. There was a new, like a brand new style of machine.
Not even been released yet?
Was that the True Knit?
I think so.
Yeah, and
I think there's a waiting list for them.
2 women were near that machine. It was Jamie Mayfield and Kathy Ricard, I can't remember how to say her name. But then there was an antique, a really old antique sock knitting machine. We think it was a 1914 Gearhart. And Dawn Copeland is the owner of that machine. Yeah,
it was really interesting to talk to her, or you, I should say. If you watch, I don't know if you watch. It was really interesting to hear about the process, and it was not her first sock machine. She has bought, used ones, antique ones, and what did I say? I asked her, so are you knitting socks for everybody?
Do you love it? Or yeah,
and it sounded like she was. Oh, it was a love-hate kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of work. It's not as easy as maybe I thought it was.
Especially with the antique machine, because it's glitchy.
Yeah. But even the True Knit, the new machine, she was having to retension it and rethread it a couple times, and it would like get hung up, and so I was kind of like, But meanwhile, Kevin and Ray actually attended another yarn festival the day before. Was it the day before?
Right. There was something the day before.
Knit Centric.
I don't remember. Yeah.
And they went to a sock machine demo, and they recorded, I guess Ray recorded Kevin saying, we're definitely getting one of these.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say at dinner. So I sat next to Kevin, and then my husband was on my left, and I just talked Kevin's ear off the whole night, because he dyes yarn. He has a yarn dyeing business, and he knits a lot of socks, and he was interested in the sock knitting machine. So I talked his ear off about sock knitting machines and different yarn bases and dyeing, and I just found it all super fascinating.
And that's why you're such a great podcaster, because you really love to talk about, you've always said that, you love to talk about knitting.
I just ignored everybody else.
And she just loves everything about it.
I don't have, I can't say, I do make an effort to be socially graceful, but if someone has information that I want, it's almost like I tune everything out, and I just am like a sponge, and I want to just hear all about what their experience is with the different, fiber crafts and stuff. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I hope that they get a sock knitting machine, and they said that I could rent time on it. So that's the best of both worlds, right? I don't have to buy the machine, but I can learn how to use it. I have heard that there is a very steep learning curve. So
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It looks kind of complicated. It's much more complicated than 2 knitting needles, and even way more complicated than double pointed 4 or 5 double pointed needles.
I know. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
So you finally got to see your sock machine.
I did.
Yay!
And so I was intimidated, though. And it's a huge expense. It really is. It's a huge expense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Couple
and I
$1,000.
like I like knitting socks.
Yeah.
So I don't have any plans to get one.
Yeah.
Anytime soon.
Don't worry, I'm not going to buy you a sock knitting machine.
I know you're not. And, just the fact that I can go use Kevin and Ray's.
Yeah,
and
fun.
see if I like it.
I'm surprised your friend Claudia doesn't have one. She seems like the kind of person who would have a sock
if I was
knitting
going
machine.
to buy a sock knitting machine, it would be a joint purchase between me and Claudia.
Oh,
We would
okay.
share it.
Maybe you've mentioned that before, and that's why
Yeah.
it came to mind.
Yeah, but it would have to be turquoise. Because that's
Oh, yes.
you can get them hand painted.
did tell me that.
Yeah,
That's
you can get
right.
them custom painted.
Okay.
Why my brain is like not the brand that everybody has. Erlbacher.
There it is.
Erlbacher.
Erlbacher.
Yes, CSM, circular sock knitting machine.
Mhm.
So that's
Cool.
what I would buy.
So the next thing I'm going to talk about before we move on to meeting viewers at 2 o'clock is, because I smell it, and I've smelled it in my house for the last
You smell it.
whatever, is I forgot to mention that when we were at Maggie's farm stand,
Oh, she gave us soap.
her daughter just ran around and gathered a whole bunch of stuff to give us, and it just smells.
I wonder if I can smell it. Maybe it will clear up my sinuses.
Good.
Oh no, it smells really delicious.
Oh my goodness.
The combination. I smelled each and every one of them when we were gifted them. So.
Yeah, and when I these were sitting in my living room because they were waiting to film, and when I would open the window on either side of the room,
Oh really?
the
Waft through.
oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how divine. Oh, and they're wrapped in fabric,
Yeah.
floral fabric. Oh,
This one's orange marmalade.
oh my goodness.
I tried to make kumquat marmalade the other day. It didn't turn out. I didn't follow a recipe. But oh well.
It's goat milk soap.
Tested on humans.
I mean, just divine. I can't even. I mean, how many did she give
I
us?
know, a lot.
Wow.
This is the rose one. Diana English rose.
Has a picture of Princess Diana on it, yeah.
I have to say they smelled better before I got the cold.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their business card is really cute. Oh, 2 little, what are these? I didn't even look through the bag. Oh, but the bag smells so good. Look what she gave us. Did you know she gave us this?
Oh no.
What is it?
Must be lip balm.
Shepherd's Friend Lip
look at
Balm.
these ones,
Yeah, look at that. Thank you so much, Mia and Maggie, for these little goodies. We're so
Thank
grateful. That was really, really, really
Look
fun.
at us. We have a little
I know.
stash going on here.
That's enough goat soap.
I know, till last
Goat milk soap till
we'll
last.
be really clean.
At least until Rhinebeck.
We'll have beautiful skin. I
Exactly.
don't know what TV show I was watching, and the mother was telling the daughter to, every night before you go to bed, rub your face with goat cheese and I don't know what else it was.
Like literally goat cheese?
Yeah, I thought, ooh. It was, back in 1700s or something. I was like,
So
oh,
funny.
goat cheese on your skin.
So then we basically, we wandered, but then we basically headed back to,
Green
did
Mountain
we eat
Spinnery.
anything? We didn't.
My
right?
husband got me ice cream,
Right.
but that was after. Was that after? After we met.
That was after, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he
I
brought
was
you
hungry.
snacks, though, remember?
Oh, he brought me snacks, which I wolfed down. Like string cheese,
Right
my
before
usual, a banana.
before 2 o'clock, because we were going to go meet
That's
viewers
right.
at the booth.
That's right. Yeah, I was like, bring food.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't want to eat the fair food, but because their lines were so
So
long. Yeah, we just couldn't take time for that. So,
Yeah.
and you weren't eating,
Yeah, I didn't want to wait online either.
Yeah.
That's basically.
so
It was just going to be a one-day thing.
I'm
So,
a snacker.
so then we went to the Green Mountain Spinnery booth, and we met viewers, and it was really...
Every time we do something like that, we plan it. We're like, what if no one shows up? Which was fine. It would have been fine.
Just like when we did, just this last weekend, we did our 3rd Cable 3 Zoom for our members. We have memberships on our channel. The content is just, anywhere from 1 to one video a month to one every week on a Friday. I can't even talk right now. Friday at 10 o'clock. But for members, they get a little extra perks, right? And so the one for the highest tier of membership is a once a month
Zoom.
And
like a knit night.
Yeah, like it is.
And it's turned out to be so fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
But every time we do it, we did it. This time we did it separately because you still were under the weather and I was just getting over strep. But every time I sign on to the thing, I'm like, is anybody gonna? It's just going to be Jonna and I talking to each other.
No, it's so fun, and this was our second one, so we're getting to know what people are working on.
This was
our third one. Oh, because we had one that was like
everybody.
All the members.
We did it for all the members, right.
But this was our second one, just
Cable 3
members, and it was just so fun.
Yeah, it was really
it's
fun.
A pretty small group. There were, how many of us were? 8 or 9 of us.
Yeah, it was, and we were separate, and it was you and me. It was Diana signed on first, and then Carmen, Kaylee, Rachel, Pat,
Diana.
I said Diana.
Oh
no, I'm forgetting somebody. I'll remember. Julie. Yeah. So it was really fun. Thanks everybody for not letting us hang out there all by ourselves.
Yeah. Art and Carlos just started memberships on their channel. Yeah. She was right in the middle.
Okay. Yeah. Arnie and Carlos just started doing memberships. Yeah. Memberships. And prizes for giveaways. They give away
really?
Zoom.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't you tell me that?
Oh, yes, they did.
Zoom chats. Zoom chats, right.
But yeah, I watched them. And if you haven't yet, I watched... So the last episode, the last sit and knit for a bit, they walk Hadrian's Wall, which is like 80 some odd miles. So they walk coast to coast across England. And they end up at Kate from the last homely house at her house. And so they sit on a green sofa, and it's Arnett and Carlos and Kate from the last homely house, and they did a sit and knit for a bit together.
They did a live, right?
A live.
I wanted to watch it, but I was busy.
It was really, really, really sweet. It was really, really cute. So I think they've done other filming, and I know I'm getting off topic, but...
It's okay.
So that's when they mentioned their memberships, and Kate started another channel called The Last Homely Garden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so anyway, it was really cute.
That's so fun.
Yeah, they look like they just got on famously.
I'm sure they did. I mean, you could already tell. Arnie and Carlos talked about her all the time.
Yeah. So it was really, really sweet. They seemed like such lovely people.
So after Jonna scarfed down her
my snack,
then we went to the Green Mountain Spinnery booth, and people did come to say hi.
Yes.
We were so happy. We met. It's funny, too, because I had been, as I said, writing down the names of everybody on this paper map with a pen. So I would, trying to write with nothing hard underneath it. And
my husband and I are very digital, and, we don't use paper.
So he comes up to me. He's so cute.
You put those notes in your phone.
Really inconspicuous. Kim, there's this thing in your phone called Notes. And you can just put everybody's names in there. And honestly...
But you're a paper and pencil.
But I hadn't even thought of it. I could have done that. And I started to. So thank you, John. Thank you. I am open to suggestions because I'm not perfectionist at this. I'm not the expert. So the first person I wrote in my phone, so I'm assuming that was at the booth, was Mary Ellen and Lou, L-U. And then there was Martha, Mary Beth, and Dottie were together. Joanne and Helen. And then
Karen V.
Karen.
Who's a member.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. I recognized her right away.
And it was the first time we saw her in person, right? That was so fun.
I recognized her right away.
Yeah, because she's on our Zooms.
Yeah.
So we recognized her from that.
And Anne Huckabee.
And David.
Yeah. That was really sweet.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It was fun to meet you, Anne.
Yes. And Patricia and Terry and Ashley with her daughter Emily, Liz, Anne and her daughter Lori, and her son David, Kathy, and then there was Lorelei and Linda. And I had 2 notes after that, Lovely 3 and Scrappy Angel, and I can't remember. I looked them up on Instagram and I couldn't find them. Maybe that's their YouTube names. I don't know. But anyway. Hi, Lorelei and Linda. Because I wrote the notes and then I don't remember what they mean. Julie, and then Kathy and her son Boris.
He was wearing like a tie-dye. Was he a yarn dyer? No, he's a crocheter.
Oh, right, yes. And she was the other friend of Pat Valenzano. Yeah.
Friends of Pat. We should just start a group called Friends of Pat. That's right.
And then Karen, Renee, and Terry-Ann and Tiffany. Yeah. So lots of people came.
Yeah,
it was so
really
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's sometimes hard to know, like, we don't want everyone to wait really long.
Right.
And, take a picture with, my husband was luckily there, so he was taking pictures. Your husband was taking
Hopefully
pictures.
nobody felt rushed.
Yeah. We want to, make sure that we have time to talk to everybody.
Well, my husband was supposed to be taking pictures.
Oh, right. He wasn't there at first.
That's when he ran off to get his lamb nachos and the ice cream. I was like, I gave you one job. And he went off to get nachos. So, and I was distracted. And
that's okay. My hubby took some pictures for people.
Okay, good.
So that was fun. But it was just lovely to be there and, again, meet everyone in person.
It was.
And the festival was... and not that people didn't say it would be wonderful, but it far exceeded my expectations as far as the size, the amount of vendors, the location was beautiful, the food stands. I mean, next time I would eat there, I think. I would just not eat right at 12 when everyone's waiting online. I just didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. But everybody was so sweet and lovely. Right?
It was Rhinebeck-esque. It was larger. And more spread out. We just didn't know the lay of the land, so we kind of wandered a little bit. But I would have liked to look at some of those booths in the beginning when we first walked in. Looked like maybe not so fiber focused, but it was funny when we arrived. We already saw people walking to the car with huge bags of fiber.
Yes,
and their husbands lugging their fiber purchases. And,
I know. And we got there at 10 a.m. So it's not like we were really late or anything.
No, people just made a beeline for what it was that they wanted. But there was
I think things probably
and,
sell out, I'm sure. Because that festival was Saturday and Sunday, and so we were there on Saturday.
Yeah.
But we came in the main entrance, and there's this main road that goes straight up the center, and we basically only stayed to the left, and we didn't even get all the way down to the bottom. There was another big barn down there, and there were more vendors.
I know.
We didn't even make it down there, and we didn't go to
we'll definitely stay for both.
Oh yeah,
days, I think.
and we didn't go to the right at all.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next time. But it was really fun. It was really, really, really fun. So then we did that with the viewers and got to meet everybody, and then we decided to buy yarn.
We did.
How could we not?
There were beautiful samples, and we both wanted to support Kate, so, and being surrounded by all the beautiful yarn, and who noticed the Velocore first?
I always notice samples.
Yeah.
So they had a beautiful
sample of Velocore by Andrea Mallory.
Oh, I know. We first noticed it when we went to just say hi at the booth. And then all throughout the festival, you kept saying...
Oh, I saw several people wearing Velocore.
Oh, there's another Velocore. Yeah, there's another. And I've never seen this design ever.
I was seeing the Velocore before we saw the sample.
At least 5. There had to be at least 5.
And some of them were... a fade. Just some really, really beautiful iterations of this sweater.
Velocore.
And I thought, so people talk about the Rhinebeck sweater. Well, I feel like this was like the Maryland Sheep and Wool sweater. Velocore.
There were a lot of them. But Kate said it's actually an older pattern.
It is.
That, kind of, I don't know if it was during COVID.
And I'm pretty sure that Jonathan Day from Jonathan's Days podcast knit a Velocore for himself, and I watched that episode and admired the sweater then.
It was published in 2019, but it's Andrea Mallory, and it's a beautiful little short sleeve top.
Yeah,
with a boat neck,
bottom up.
Yeah. So
3 needle bind off across the shoulders, it looks like, and then I think you just pick up stitches for the ribbing.
And so it's mainly 2 colors, and then you can do a third kind of a accent color through there. You can't really see it on this picture very well, but the one in the booth was really lovely.
I don't even remember what colors you got.
I got almost the same as the sample. So my main color is gray. It's called Wood Smoke, and it's the Green Mountain Spinnery Simply Fine Skinnies. Fingering weight, 40% kid mohair, 60% fine wool.
Which is a single ply.
Whatever she says.
Yep. It is.
So that's my main color.
Okay.
And then the second, like I would call it, I guess, the main contrast color. I got the same weight of yarn, and what's the name of the color? White. It's just white. It's kind of an off-white though, winter white.
These are the...
And this is way more than I need, so we're going to share this.
Right. Because I just needed a little bit.
Yeah. And then this is my accent color. It's called Pick Your Own, and I'm assuming it's like Berry Farm. Yeah. Pick Your Own. So cute. So it's this kind of berry color, which I love. Pretty. So that'll be my accent color. Pretty. And
it's pink.
I'm really excited about it. And I got this lovely tote bag.
Which I was like, oh, I want a tote bag.
So I'm going to give it to her. I have way too many bags. So here, you are getting a gift today. Yes, you can have my bag. I just kept my yarn in there until we did the episode. But
it's a cool bag.
It's a very cool bag.
Yeah,
I love
really
it.
Deep, and it's got a big bottom, and it has a zipper. And it's just have their logo on.
But we all know that all my belongings are in boxes right now because of the...
Well, and you know where it is if you ever want it back.
Of course. If I ever want to borrow that Green Mountain Spinnery bag.
And so... I bought... This is my main color.
You're going to do the same sweater.
Yep.
Well, actually, we had left.
Sorry,
right?
We had left. Because you know me. I'm like, okay, I spent what I, allowed myself to spend. I shouldn't spend anymore. I shouldn't buy that bag. So
we had left the booth, and I had just bought mine. We had left, and we wanted to sit down for a few minutes. We were really kind of undecided exactly what we were going to do.
When my husband got ice cream. We sat in the...
Yeah, we sat like just across the way on benches or chairs or whatever.
I think I said, I just need to sit down.
Yeah, I did too. I needed to sit down. We were just kind of figuring out, like, that was probably like, 3:30ish, maybe almost 4. If we were going to, like, stay or go. And I had left all my pottery at the booth because it was heavy.
So you had to go back.
I had to go back and get that. But we sat there, and while we're sitting there, she has her ice cream, and then what do you say?
I'm just going to go buy it.
So
I would have thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I just knew that if I didn't do it,
you would regret it.
I would regret it. So
I went with her. We went right back across. Yep. It was just across the way.
And Kate helped me pick out my colors, and she said if she was going to make another Velocore, it would be in these colors. So this is the base, and this is the contrast, and then it'll have the white.
The white, yep.
Yeah. So black, white, and gray.
It's beautiful. But it's not really black.
No, it's a charcoal.
It's charcoal,
yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it'll be really, really pretty. I think it's really striking. I think the high contrast will be really striking. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. That was our last purchase. And then you guys decided to go?
We did. I have a little story. I guess we didn't really talk about what I did after... I know what you did.
I'll do mine. Mine's quicker.
Okay.
So, but we had been talking, Kevin and Ray had told us about, and a few different people, about the events from the day before, from Friday. There was that, what did you call it? Knit-centric?
Knit-centric.
And then there was a yarn shop in Fredrick, Maryland that we'd neither...
Magpie Fibers.
What is it called?
Magpie
Fibers. Everyone kept saying we should go. And so we were wondering, like, should we go on Sunday on our way before we go home? But my husband and I had already kind of planned... Well, I kind of surprised him. His brother lives in Maryland. So I had been reaching out to my sister-in-law to see if we could get together and have lunch on the way home. So I would love to go to Magpie Fibers, but it was already a long weekend. And so Saturday then, after she bought her yarn, then I was maybe going to go down to the last barn. But as soon as you guys walked away, I was like, I'm so tired. So my husband and I just walked to the booth, the pottery booth, and grabbed the box, and then we went to the car and we went back.
Well, and it was kind of nice that we left before the festival closed because there was no traffic getting out.
No, it was easy getting out. Yeah.
So I don't know why, but I was driving. I don't normally drive.
You don't, yeah.
No. I'm not sure why I was driving. Anyway, and we were stopped at a stoplight, and I don't know, there's more to this story. There was some kind of turnaround. Anyway, I was like, well, I think we're closer to Fredrick, Maryland. Oh, I know, it involved tacos. It all involved tacos because my husband loves tacos. So when we were at the festival, a group of viewers said that they had eaten at a place in Fredrick that had great tacos. So I said to my husband, let's go to this taco place. And lo and behold, Magpie Fibers is right across the street. And so he got his tacos.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Oh my goodness. But I have to say, Fredrick, Maryland is the cutest, quaintest, colonial, downtown, Main Street, and all the shops were open. I want to say someone called it like first Saturday or something. So there were some musicians and just lots of people. The weather was beautiful, restaurants, people eating outside, and it was just the cutest town. And I thought if we definitely wanted to go away for a weekend to something quick where we could drive, we would definitely visit.
And next year we should stay there.
We should stay in an Airbnb in Fredrick because there's tons of places to eat. So we went and had tacos and they were delicious. And we both went to Magpie Fiber, and John was like, this is the nicest yarn store I've ever been in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just impeccably displayed and, beautiful yarn. It's Magpie Fibers yarn, but they also carry Sandus Garn and some other brands. And it's an old bank building, and there's a vault at the back of the building.
Oh, wow.
And the vault is open, and there was yarn in the vault. And I bought some Explorer knits and fibers in the color Petrichor, some Denali sock, because I like to buy sock yarn as a souvenir.
Yeah.
So tons of beautiful sock yarn, and some of them named after national parks. So
Denali.
yeah. So I just thought that this was beautiful, and it's kind of not my typical color scheme, but I thought it was very neutral, and I liked it. So,
It's beautiful.
yeah. So I bought that.
I think it's your color scheme.
It is neutral, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the only bag that they had in the shop, tote bag, was this one. It's and it says Beav Along. I guess they must have had a knit along. And they have a whole line of yarn called like Bougie Beaver and this beaver and that beaver. So they must have had a Beav Along, a knit along.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I bought this little canvas
I love it.
sack/backpack. So that was fun. And it was just a beautiful store. And of course I just, I get paralyzed when I see all this beautiful yarn. And I didn't have a plan. And I didn't buy any Magpie Fibers, but I do have some swanky sock in stash that was meant for my Nordiska. And I didn't use it for my Nordiska, but I'm kind of glad I didn't use it. So I still have it in stash. And it's beautiful yarn.
Nice.
So if you're ever in Fredrick, Maryland, definitely go visit Magpie Fibers. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't believe all the times my son and daughter-in-law and 2 grandchildren lived in Northern Virginia for forever. And when I went, and he went to college in Baltimore, never ever even once did it ever cross my mind all the times I was there to go to a yarn shop. I don't know why. I guess because I just wanted to see them. So.
In the Knot House, I think it's called the Knot House, was around the corner for a long time, and they just closed. So Magpie Fibers hasn't been open for long in this location. But the Knot House, yeah, I was sad to have missed them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Really, really cute downtown. And then we just, was there ice cream? No, we'd already had ice cream. We just headed back and went to bed. The next day, we got up and had really nice breakfast at First Watch, which is kind of sentimental. The first time we ever went to this restaurant called First Watch, and it's a chain restaurant. They have good food though. Was in St. Louis. So when we moved to St. Louis, they had a First Watch, and we'd never been to one.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So
was it on the boardwalk where we were?
No, but it was only like a mile away.
Oh, okay.
So we drove there, and the tables were full, but they had a community table that you could share with other people.
Oh, fun.
And so we shared with another family. So
nice.
That was really fun. And then we got on the road, and
yeah, Saturday night, my husband and I just went back, and we had a nice dinner at a steakhouse that was nearby. And then, like I said, on Sunday, we did in fact get to meet up with his brother. Not anybody else in the family because they were all busy, but we got to stop in Maryland, in Bel Air, Maryland. And he recommended this place that has really good crab cakes. And when you're in Maryland, you have to have Maryland crab cakes. And this place was busy. I mean, not like we didn't have to wait, but you knew it's a good restaurant because it wasn't even really lunchtime. It was a little after lunchtime. And so we stopped there and we had yummy crab cakes with his brother and got to catch up. And that was really nice. And then we drove home. And it was a a great weekend, but then we were both so exhausted the next week, right? You got the cold.
I got the cold.
From your husband from being in the car with him for how many hours?
I sleep in the same bed, but I don't know. It was just like being in that closed space. Yeah.
And I felt under the weather. I didn't know if I caught the cold. I only was with John just when we had dinner with Kevin and Ray. I couldn't imagine I would catch a cold then. But also just being, as I get older, I have more allergies, seasonal allergies. And just being around different allergens down in Maryland, being outside all day, I think it was just a lot of allergies. Yeah. So that week I was just really tired and under, like, felt just the allergies. And then, of course, the next weekend was Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, right. And I had plans with my daughters to go away, and I canceled those because I was sick. My daughter was sick. So.
And then my daughter and her family still came over, and we were gardening all weekend. But one of her daughters, when they went back home, found out she had strep. So, of course, then I'm not feeling well Wednesday morning, and then I go to urgent care, and I have strep. I haven't had strep. I mean, I don't even remember the last time I had strep.
I know, we were talking about that.
And I was not even around my little granddaughter that much. I mean, we were outside gardening, so the kids would come out and shovel some dirt. I don't know how I got it. Anyway, so I was down and out for another week, so that's why less videos this month. But oh well, we finally did this one.
And I don't know, did I tell you on the way home, we stopped in Gettysburg?
Oh yeah, you know why? I've always wanted to move there.
Oh, right. I know this one now. Because you wanted a Gettysburg address.
Yes!
I totally fell for that the first time, and I didn't know.
She told me she was in Gettysburg. Yeah. She texted me, and I texted her back. I've always wanted to live there. ...
I was like, why?
And I said, because I've always wanted to.
No,
this is one of those. Our family is like a beat a dead horse. Is that politically correct to say? Kind of joke person, you know, like we say the same joke over and over. We would never beat a horse, dead or alive, but we say that. Well, me personally, I say the same jokes over and over and over again. So yes, all those years that we drove to Northern Virginia, every time, because instead of going down the I-95 corridor, which is a nightmare, you're going past.
It was a nicer drive.
New York City, Newark, New Jersey. Philadelphia, through Delaware, which always has traffic. There's a little 8 miles of Delaware. Always has crazy traffic. And then you're going by Baltimore and then Washington, D.C. So we always, when we would go to Northern Virginia, we would go across to Harrisburg and then down.
Right.
And of course, then you go past Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Every single time we went past there, you know, we're driving along, and I was usually driving. And I just say, oh, honey. He wouldn't even know what the sign said yet. I say, honey, I wish I could live here. And he fell for it every single time. So many times. And he'd say, really? Why?
It's nice to have a really big museum and gift shop. And we didn't do the driving tour because you have to actually drive to the cemetery.
Yeah.
And then there's a self-pick or you-pick flower farm there too.
Nice.
So, but I didn't go.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was nice to stop there. And we took a picture with Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I guess I can insert that here. I don't know if it's landscape or not, but
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then we just got in the car and drove home.
Nice.
Oh, and then went to pick up Teddy actually at camp.
Right.
So
you always have that extra little trip to go get Teddy. But so it was fun, and thank you so much, everyone, for all your suggestions.
Thank you so much. We had a really, really great time, and we'll definitely be back.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice. You know, I think we think of Rhinebeck as like, where that's the only yard festival I'd ever been to. So it was only in October. And like, what do we do the rest of the year? But now we have so many options. Yes. We didn't go to Vermont Chevenwell, which I've been 1 year, but that would be nice. And we didn't go to Knit City in Montreal this last weekend, which I'm kind of like, I had some major FOMO about. But I still didn't feel well, and we hadn't planned, and you had strep, and
I had my strep was gone by then, thank goodness, because I had my big, huge spring concert with my German choir, the Liederkranz choir, so I couldn't go. But if I didn't have that concert, I would have gone to
that would have been fun. So I'd like to go to Montreal next year. So it's nice to have several yard festivals, you know, leading up to Rhinebeck. So
definitely, it was really fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was beautiful too. I loved Maryland.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Is that it?
I think so.
Did we talk about everything? Should I look at my list one more time?
I don't know. I think we did.
I think we did. I really think we did. Okay.
So, should we say the spiel about it? I always feel so funny and awkward. But if you enjoyed the episode, hit the subscribe button because it really helps our channel. And especially we need the help since we didn't release a video the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
YouTube's gonna like mess with our algorithm.
Yeah, we just did, should we say this? We just did our taxes because we have an LLC, right?
Yeah. Because we're not married. It would have been easier if we were married.
Right.
But we're not.
But we obviously like spent, like we spend more money.
Yes, it costs more money to run the channel than the channel makes.
Right, which is good because then we can write it off on our personal taxes, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so any way you can support us. We have memberships, which we already talked about.
Yeah.
And we also we now have a couple of affiliate links. We have the Knitter's Planner, which we've already talked about. So if you want to try out a Knitter's Planner, I think the new ones come out in October.
Okay.
So get ready for that. We have a new affiliate link, and we'll probably do a separate video about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see any of our Instagram posts linked to Twice Sheared Sheep, we are now an affiliate for Twice Sheared Sheep. So if you purchase something using our link, we get a little commission. The price of the object is the same. It won't increase your price, but we get a little.
And we get offers all the time, and a lot of them for non-knitting related things that we just say no thank you. But this was knitting related, and we really loved the story of the company, women owned, and these women, most of the things are made here in America. Women get to stay home with their kids and make some of the knitting jewelry. And it's funny, the day that, and we'll talk about this more because we're going to do what's in our knitting bag, what's our knitting notions bag, and talk about it. But I have to say, and the woman that we spoke to, Katie, I said, well, what if we don't use the items and we don't find value in them or we don't like them, whatever. She's like, I want this to be totally authentic. So only talk about it if you like the items. And the day that I checked the mail and I got some gadgets, they were total lifesavers, and we've come to really appreciate and have some must-haves from Twice Sheared Sheep.
Yes,
so
I have a new must-have.
I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling on. Anyway.
That's okay.
So yes, they're a new affiliate, and they're in our link tree too on our Instagram. So we're really excited to partner with them.
Yeah. So we will do a separate video where we talk a little bit more about that, but I just thought I would
so we can make some more money to support the channel.
And to support this small business.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So many small businesses have closed. So many small knitting businesses have closed. Well,
and just to go, I was considering going to Montreal to Knit City by myself, but the gas, the hotel, meals, I mean, that's a couple $1,000s for two of us if we go. So, that's a big expense. So we're really grateful for the support that we do get, though.
Yeah. So every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah.
But the best support is your likes and your comments. We love the comments. And
we just surpassed 1 million views, which was very humbling.
It was.
It was very, I didn't even know how to really process 1 million views. But of course I told my 11-year-old grandson, and he was very impressed. So
yeah. I mean, it wasn't 1 million views for one video, which a lot of people get. It was for our channel as a whole. We've surpassed 1 million views, which we thought only our family and friends would watch. So
yeah, I can't wrap my brain around that. So
that's fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
We hope you're still here. And we will see you for our next episode 19.
Yeah, we're filming it later this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye. See you next time. Bye. Welcome to Knit Together.
Oh, wait,
with
sorry.
Jonna.
I wasn't really ready. Hopefully it won't be a long video. We do. Maybe it really will be a quick video today. Let's see.
Okay, let's sit up like.
If you're gonna sit up, I have to sit up.